Today on Freedom Hillbilly, we're having a stakeout, but hold the barbecue sauce. Now, for those of you not following our series, which you absolutely should, we've been doing a gradual topographic survey of this small 5-acre parcel, and a boundary line survey too. And on that journey, we were able to uncover a 1954 engineering survey of this huge 600-acre adjacent parcel. So our goal today is to stake out and monument the terminus that was indicated on that 1954 survey of this leg of the traverse for our parcel. So in addition to just staking out the terminus, we also want to record various points of interest that we found in the field that might help us confirm that our terminus is in fact correct. So in order to accomplish that goal, we need to find a good location to set up our reference station so that we can both get those points of interest and backsite to our known reference point at point C. Now I think I found the perfect spot. Let's take a look. So from this location, we should be able to pick up this monster hemlock with the triple blazes. No tag on it though. The stone wall, sugar maple over there with the blaze and the remnant wire fence. The foundation for the rest of that stone wall, more remnant wire fence. And the general area here where we think the terminus will be, that monster hemlock with the triple blazes and the society's tag. And finally, this sketch hemlock with the triple blazes, the tag, and the remnant wire fence sticking out of it. Now we should also be able to pull in our reference station back at point C, which is about 790 feet from where we're at. So this might be tricky. I'll try and zoom in. Basically we see the tree with the orange blaze. We see this small scraggly tree with the white tape, and it should be beyond that. So hopefully I was able to pull that in for you. All right, so there's a number of things we have to do before we can actually do the stakeout. First, we put a prism over this point, go back to our point C, and take a foresight so that we can get a coordinate of this point and put it on our grid. Then we can set up our total station on this point, take a back sight to point C so that we can locate it on our grid, and then we'll be in a position to collect our points and stake out our terminus. Let's head back to point C and get started. measure, and registrate. So we just took our foresight to what will be our reference station terminus, or RST. Now by now you should be familiar and comfortable with setting up a station, taking a backsite, taking a foresight, and getting that into an area file. But here's a pro tip. Every time you establish a station or reestablish one, write down what that station is, what the instrument height is, what your backsite will be, what the backsite target height is, what your foresight is, and what the coordinate of that foresight is. Just like I did here in your little field book. And that way, if something goes wrong, and you only discover it at the end of the day or when you get back at the office, you will not have wasted a full day. Because now what you've done is left a breadcrumb trail of every station you've set up. And if you discover that, oh, I entered the wrong backsite point, or oh, I labeled the incorrect station point, because then you'll probably be able to shift and rotate and salvage all those points. So you will save yourself a lot of headache of going back in the field and redoing everything. So keep that in mind. All right, so now that we have our foresight coordinate, let's break this down and set it up down there and finally get out to setting out our terminus point. Whew. It's quite the trek, and we still got to go back, set up RST with another tripod, which, you know, is the fun thing to do. So let's go. All right, by now you should be able to anticipate what I'm going to tell you. We've set up over reference station T. We're going to backsite to point C so we can establish the station at RST, so we can then do our little topographic mapping and our set out of the terminus point. So enough talking, let's get to it. All right. Aim and measure. It's only like 500 feet away, but it's just pulling it in. Registrate. So there it is, station's established. Let's put it into remote mode. Get our data collector onto our prism rod. So now another pro tip, which I told you about in drilling a granite hole video, which is to carry a shop towel in your back pocket. You never know when you're going to need it, and I need it to clean off the saddle for the data collector because it's all wet from all the snow that's raining off the tree branches. So note to self, follow my pro tips. So we've powered up, we're going through the component cycle, it's prompting us for environmental parameters. And our HARF is pointing at 280 degrees, which from the looks of it is pointing back to our point C. So we're going to have to set up a search window real quick. So we put in an RPU, hit robotic, number 1, number 2 is window control, number 3 is editor, and it's pointing at 280. So let's start at 40, oops, 040, and search a 10-degree window, so 050. Vertical 85, we don't need it that high. We could start at level, which is 90, because I'm looking uphill to it from here. So go to 110, and it enters that, takes those. Let's hit track mode, and let's see if it finds us. So when we see that it's out of the search range, we want to cancel it by hitting no or left arrow real fast, and followed by a fast press of the shift key here. So shift. We're back in robotic mode, 1, 2, 3, and now we reset it. So I'm thinking we need to go from 60 to 70 degrees. How about that? So 60 to 70, exit. Now let's see where it goes. Yep, there we are. It found us at 66. So that was, the second guess was pretty good. So we're now finally set up to invoke program 23 set out, or stake out. Hold the barbecue sauce. So program 23 set out. Job number TRS, yep. Accept these parameters are occupied station, RST, yes. And our area file is TRS, as usual. Target height. Well, we have our prism set up on the rod at 4.0 feet. Not that it'll matter. We're not going to really be too concerned with elevations. Actually, we're not going to be concerned with elevation at all. The code we're looking for is station. So STN. And we don't want 0 station. We wanted RS shift dash T, because the dash is like a number. And this is our point that we're going to be setting out, 433.205. I don't know if you could see that. 433.205, 738, 870. And the elevation was not correct. Now this is the point that we determined on the computer. The way this program works is very similar to how the RefLine program works. It'll tell you how far away you are from the total station and how much you have to go. Okay, so we're way off. So let's go minus, I gotta go 20 more feet downhill. Well, this ain't good. All right, I'm gonna slip down the hill. It's full of snow. 25 feet, I'm gonna be at the road. All right, let's keep going. And I'm telling you, this is oh, minus 33. Huh. Something's not right. Something is not right. Well, there's something messed up here. The left-right is not changing at all. This is not right. All right, we're gonna pause, try and figure out what's going on. Oh, I know what I did. I'm headed toward the reference station. RST is not what I want. Damn. No, T is the point that I want. That's it. This is why we have to confirm. This is why we should have got our set out point. Okay. Well, let's figure out where we're gonna head to. 21 minus 31. Okay. Let's go back down the hill here. All right, yeah, you keep looking, searching. Target not found. Why not? I could see you. from here. 15 minus 6.25. Let's see where we end up. I'm getting out of sight pretty quick. I thought I'd have it. 10 and minus 4. So it's actually, no, minus 6. Minus 2. We got to go 9 feet. Okay. We're going to be blocked by a tree pretty soon. I might be able to squeeze by it. Nope. Damn it. We need to set up more over here. Well, I'm way off. I'm way off. I am way off. All right, well, I think that kind of settles it, doesn't it? Ugh. It's down there. It is down there. All right, let's take a lunch break and charge up some batteries. Figure out what we're gonna do. You know what they say about best laid plans? We ran out of battery, we ran out of memory, but most importantly, we ran out of line of sight. So we ended up having to do what we tried to avoid doing in the first place, which is setting up another reference station. As you can see, we're only 9 feet away, but that 9 feet makes all the difference for sighting back to point C. We just can't do it. That was the only location where we were able to do it that was close to where we want to be. At this point, you guys are pretty much experts. I don't have to show you how to foresight, how to backsight, how to set up the station, but I'll continue and show you how to use program 23 to set out and nail down our terminus. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the edge of the road. It's going to be a lot of road noise, a lot of traffic. It's like 3 o'clock. Our new station is T2 for Terminator 2. And the point number was T for terminus, so just do Shift T. And that was our point. It was written down. We confirm it by looking in our book just to make sure. We don't want to do this more than twice. All right. So 5 feet away and 1 foot, about 2 feet to the right. So let's keep going toward the road. All right, well, let's keep coming down the hill. Let's grab onto a branch because keep going because we don't want to slip and fall. All right. We're zeroing in. I don't know if you can see this. We're like quarter of a foot almost, and I don't see anything on the ground. So all right, now we could start. Yeah, we should have brought a let's go sideways here so we could keep my leg to hold use my leg to hold the brush shrubberies out of the way. Try and level the bubble on top here because this point is critical. So, and we've lost our line of sight. I don't know why. Oh, plumb out of range. Well, oh geez. Well, we're gonna have to go back and level that up again. The problem with being in the snow is that it sinks and it shifts the tripod. So, you know, it's not ideal. These are the sort of things you'll encounter in the field. When we've set up over frozen ground as the spring thaw is happening, it shifts the tripod and knocks us out of range. We have to go and re-level the total station. So let me just put a mark here and head back up the hill. All right. So let's show you how we do this. And there it is. So We're back in range. And he's going to search for me because okay. All right, we're back on track. We've re-leveled the total station and we're about 1/4 of a foot, so 3 inches away. I think if we go uphill a bit, yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to shade it for you. Come down more, but stay on this diagonal. And we're getting real close at this point. Let's try and level the bubble on the rod. I'm still gotta come downhill a bit. Oh no, I gotta come uphill. Okay. Well, there we go, 0.17, 0.18. I'm going for 0.1. Oh, here we go. Let's level the bubble. It should be right about there. That's perfect. Get ready to registrate. All right, so we're done. That was it. So at this point, all we have to do is get our Freedom Hillbilly customized rebar cap, put a piece of rebar in there. So now that we found our terminus, we're gonna go ahead and put a temporary mark using a mag nail and some flagging until we could come back with our more permanent rebar and rebar cap. And we showed you how to do that in another video on how to drill a hole in granite. So go and check that out. Okay. And there it is. So we set our temporary mark there in the ground. Let's pull out. So you can see we're like pretty much on the road. So this is the edge of the road, the edge of the right of way for the state anyway. And looking back through the woods, you can see where our total station was set up. All right, well, as you can see, we've tore down and collected the equipment. And we made sure to also run program 30, measure coordinates to pick up our triple blaze hemlocks with the society's tags on them, and the blazed sugar maple with the remnant wire fence in it. So at this point, we're ready to call it a wrap for this video. And in fact, we're going to call it a wrap for the whole series. As you can see, the sun is setting, both quite literally and metaphorically. And what I mean by that is this equipment here with our telescopes and our robotic station, the sun's setting on that too. As you probably are aware, a lot of this work is being done with the GPS satellites, and even the GPS systems are falling out of favor on their way out, being replaced by LiDAR and hybrid systems that use LiDAR and satellites. But it's not only the equipment that's being phased out, it's the very work that we're doing out here in the field that is also going to be phased out and fall by the wayside. Even today, it's possible to go onto the town website, look up the tax maps, and download parcel information that includes the topographic contours for that lot. Now, granted, they're 20-foot contours, but LiDAR is getting better and better every day, so it won't be long, a few years at most, before you see the 2-foot contours show up and the ability to basically do your survey from your office. So if you're anything like me, you probably have some mixed feelings about those trends. On the one hand, you like being out in the field and doing this kind of work. On the other hand, you know, you don't like lugging this heavy equipment around. And the promise was that you'd be able to use your smartphone and an antenna. So I can envision a day not too far down the road where surveyors, attorneys, land use planners they'll all kind of be unnecessary. It'll all be rolled up into one governmental bureau where people who are working there just call up a program, go through the program, it's pro forma, check the boxes, enter the data, and it'll assemble a new data and spit out a new plan for a subdivision or new deeds for those subdivisions. Now, all of that will just be done by the person who wants to do the project, and as long as they pay their fee, it'll be done. Anyway, I don't know what you think about that or how you feel about that, but the sun's really low and we're going to lose the light, so I'm going to wrap this video up and I'm going to wrap the series up. And I really appreciate your watching. And if you got something out of this, then go ahead and, buy me a tea or a coffee, either one. We'll see you on the next one. Hillbilly out. All right, so what we're doing is setting up a prism so that we can backsight to this. Of course, this is going the wrong way, so never fails to happen, even though I know that when the bubble is at that side, that's too high. But I don't know which way to turn it, clockwise or counterclockwise. Apparently this one, it's counterclockwise, so